Yeah, we're excited to get things going at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. This is a whole new season. That's how we're approaching it. We got a great opportunity with Butler on Wednesday night. Butler, we obviously played them just a few weeks back. Since then they've beaten Villanova. They beat Seton Hall. I think they're playing with a lot of confidence, shooting with a lot of confidence right now. Freshmen, I know they had a young man make the all-freshman team in the Big East. Chuck Harris is playing really, really, really well, shooting the ball well, scoring it for Butler. Jair Bolden, obviously, is a phenomenal shooter as well. So we got to do a great job on those two guys. And then you got Bryce Enzi up front who gives them that physical presence. He's a double guy for them, really good defender. And Grant Golden's another guy, or Bryce Golden's another guy. It's going to be physical up front. We know what we're going to get with Butler. Coach Jordan does a great job. They're very disciplined. They're tough. They don't beat themselves. They're going to play at a slower pace. And it's going to be a game of discipline. It is. And, like I said, but we're excited to get it back out there and start the Big East tournament off on Wednesday night.
First question, David Woods.
Yes, Coach. Xavier has handled Butler twice pretty easily. Do you have to come up with any, special motivational ploys to get your guys fired up for Butler, or is there so much at stake that's the least of your concerns?
No, guys, mentality is so important, David, as you said. Obviously we're very familiar with Butler. We've had a chance to play them twice this year. Both games, the score can be a little bit misleading. I thought we got at Hinkle, we got up on them early. Then they fought back, and it got, I think it got down to about 4 points there. And then we kind of extended the lead late. And then here it was close for a while. They played a lot of zone and they switched a lot. We weren't really prepared for that because we didn't know who was going to play. And they've had a rash of injuries this year, Butler has, and we didn't know who was going to play for them. And so they played a lot of zone and switched a lot, and we weren't as ready for that. And then we extended it kind of late in the game. Maybe the last 5 minutes is kind of when we separated. So our guys know, we're going to be in for a fight. Butler's really well coached. They're disciplined. They're a good team. They just beat Villanova. They just beat Seton Hall recently. So our guys will be ready. There's a high level of respect in our locker room for Butler.
Next question, Adam.
Travis, this is your third year as head coach, and a lot like your first 2 years, you guys are headed to New York for the Big East tournament, and you're on the NCAA tournament bubble. Is there anything that you can take from those previous 2 years, those experiences, that might be able to help you and your team this week?
Yes and no. Every year's different. Every team's different, Adam. I think, we want to play loose. We want to play hard, but we want to be loose. I don't want our guys to be tight at all, And again, my whole focus, the NCAA tournament will take care of itself. Our whole focus, our sole focus, is to win the Big East tournament, and the only way you do that is you got to beat Butler, right? Round one, and our whole preparation and all of our thoughts and all of our efforts that we're working towards right now is just towards Butler and Butler only.
Next question, Jody.
Hey, Travis, you kind of alluded to this in your answer right there. How much do you pay attention to projections and what people who are kind of in the business of trying to guess what brackets might look like, how much are you looking into that stuff before you head to New York, just to know where you stand before your team takes the floor at the Big East tournament?
Yeah, honestly, I don't look at any of the stuff. I don't. To me, that's all for the fans and for people to get excited about March Madness, which again, it's the best month there is all year, right? There is a lot of excitement, and a lot of those guys, the Joe Lenardis and the Jerry Palms, I'm sure they got it all right and they got it all figured out. I don't really know. I'm just focused on Butler, focused on having a great practice today, because we got to have 2 really good days leading up to play Butler. Because again, if the NCAA tournament stuff will take care of itself if we take care of business each game. And again, our guys know what's at stake, though. They're not. They don't live in a bunker or anything like that, right? They know what's at stake, and but I want them to play loose, and I want to play hard, and I want to make sure our game prep is right for Butler.
Next question, Adam.
Travis, it looked like during that Marquette game, Jason Carter got banged up. It looked like C.J. Wilcher was getting some treatment on his lower body during the second half. Are those guys healthy? Are they able to practice? Do you expect that you'll be at full strength this week in New York?
I hope so. I think as a lot of teams throughout college basketball at this time of the year, there's a lot of bumps and bruises, and it goes with having, it's a long season. It's a marathon. I don't anticipate Jason practicing. We're going to try to get him healthy to play. I hope that he can play. I know he's a tough kid. He wants to be out there, but he got the same ankle. He's been dealing with it all year, and it got really bad. Kind of start at the middle of January, and he didn't practice from basically the end of December all the way through February, probably mid-February. Just because his ankle was really messed up, and he'd try to play in the games and give it a go, and so I hopefully he'll be able to go. I know this; he wants to play. CJ should be fine. He cramped up. He's never played that many minutes in a college basketball game. He should practice today. He should be good as normal. We're dealing, again, as any other team is. We're just dealing with a bunch of bumps and bruises and stuff. So I would anticipate most of our team should be good to go.
Next question, Andy.
Travis, what kind of restrictions because of COVID are you facing in New York in the hotel? Are you going to have access to practice Tuesday and Wednesday facilities? Have they made arrangements for that?
Yes, Andy, there's a lot of protocols. I think there's been a lot of planning, right? And that's one of the planning of the Big East tournament to see a successful Big East tournament happen. I give a lot of credit to obviously our Big East office, Val Ackerman and Stu Jackson and Mike Coyne and those guys. They've done a great job of creating as safe of an environment as we possibly can, right? And there could be something that happens, right? It is what it is with a pandemic. But we're going to be, I think each team has basically their own floor at the hotel. You're not allowed to leave your room. You have like these connects on, I think that's how you say it, bracelets that you have to wear. It kind of monitors, who we're around and where we are, because we're not allowed to really leave the hotel. You're not supposed to leave. Nobody's allowed in. The masking is going to be they're going to enforce that very, very tightly, as they should, whether that's in games, out of games. We will be able to get a shoot around and stuff at MSG, which will be great. We'll have a little bit of a practice time as well. So they're doing a great job. Obviously, it's going to be different. There'll be some fans there as well, I believe. Again, I'm not 100% on that, but I think there will be. But again, our guys are excited. Again, they know it's going to be different. I try to tell them, hey, this is how it's going to be. It's not, you ain't going to be, roaming around New York City and on Times Square, right? There's no going to Shake Shack like normal. They're going to deliver the food to your room. There's no meetings. There's no big meeting spaces. So it's definitely going to look a lot different.
Next question, Adam.
Travis, we've talked with you about kind of how spotty the offense has been, particularly in those last two games at Georgetown and at Marquette. And I thought in the second half against Georgetown, one of the guys who really gave your offense a lift was Kiki Tandy, but you decided to not really play him at all in the second half against Marquette. Can you sort of, I know it's a difficult situation, but like when your offense is sputtering, is there a reason why you don't try another hot hand, see if a guy can knock down some shots? What was your thought process there against Marquette?
Yeah, I thought Kiki played a really good game against Georgetown. Played really well. Gave us a huge lift offensively and defensively. I thought he was pretty good. I told Kiki, he's got to take the right shots. He just does, for our team, where we are as a team right now. I thought against Marquette, he forced him a little bit early, quick. Again, you go on that field. I thought his defense wasn't as good as it was against Georgetown either. And again, you kind of always go with the eye test at him, and then the analytical numbers back that up as well. And so I thought our offense in the second half was fine, was much better than it was in the first half at Marquette. So I wish we would have made a few more shots. Obviously, we're searching for shooting, and we need Kiki, and Kiki's a really good player. I mean, I have a lot of belief in him. We need him, and like I said, you've seen that he can really help our team. There's no question about that, and we need him here in MSG. And we need scoring, we need shooting. When you lose Nate was our guy that we really relied on to create that space on the floor, and that's why we're trying to mess around with lineups a little bit here late, just because I feel like it did change our team in a big way, losing Nate, and we need Kiki to step up, which I'm sure he will here in MSG this week.
Go ahead, Adam.
A little more than an hour ago, it was announced that Zach Freman was named the Big East Most Improved Player, or co-most improved player. He shared it with a guy from St. John's, but he obviously took a step this year in the right direction. But where do you think that the next progression of his game needs to come from? Like, what does he need to do in this offseason to be even better next year?
Yeah, I think he's got to be more consistent, Adam, and I think that kind of comes with age and maturity. He's got to get stronger. He's got to get a heck of a lot stronger. You look at some of the Big East front court guys. I mean, shoot, you look at Butler's guys, right? Golden, Enzi. I mean, those dudes are big. They are strong. They are grown men. We got to get Zach's body. He's got to get stronger. You look at Theo John. You look at these dudes, man, in our league. I mean, golly. I think it starts there. Then it also starts just the mental side as well. Continue to control his mind, his competitiveness. It's probably his greatest gift, and it could be his greatest curse as well. And then just continue diversifying that offensive game. I think, being a guy that can score the ball in the low post, being a guy that can, consistently shoot the ball, being a guy that can drive the ball as well. I think he's a versatile kid. And the great thing about Zach is, he works. I mean, he lives basketball. He doesn't love it. He lives for it. I mean, it's what he wants to do all day long. And you almost got to kick him out of the gym to get him out of here. So, he's going to continue to progress very quickly with the resources that we have in place around here and the structure that we have, and with his work ethic. I see him hopefully being a future conference player of the year type of candidate in this league.
Andy?
Travis, there's certainly some positive experience at MSG on your roster. Paul Scruggs has played a couple of brilliant games there in the tournament. Zach and Kiki both had good games against St. John's last year at MSG. Is that a positive to have that? They know the layout there, and they've had some success.
I absolutely think so, Andy. I think we're going to rely on those guys that have been there before. Obviously, this year we didn't have a chance to play at MSG when we played at St. John's. It was at Carnesecca. So for a lot of our team, for the majority of our team, this is all going to be new. First time being in there, and we're going to rely on our older guys. I mean, we need Paul, we need Jason, we need Zach, our captain specifically, to really show the way and lead the way heading into the Big East tournament.
We have time for one last question. Go ahead, Joe.
kind of a general question here, but I'm curious to hear your answer, Travis, because you know these guys better than anybody. You're around them all the time. Look, you're entering what will be the biggest week of the season for this team, trying to get to where you want to get to. Just curious how you feel about this team right now, where they are, first week of March, as you enter March. Do you feel good about what this team looks like right now and what they could be as the week starts?
You know, Joe, I would start off saying that, I love our team. Love our team. But being transparent, I don't like how we've been playing. We got to be better. And, I thought our toughness level and our effort level at Marquette was phenomenal. Was really, really, really good. Never allowed our offensive, our missing and making shots affect our defense, which I thought was really, really good. I said this a few weeks back, and listen, this isn't an excuse. When you lose a guy like Nate, you have to kind of almost recreate yourself a little bit. And I feel like we're doing that, and I felt like we did that a little bit more at Marquette. But again, like we have to be better on the defensive end. I want our guys to continue to play with confidence offensively. Step in, be loose, don't be tight. If you're open, you take the shot. We got guys who can make shots. And that's where it's like a lot of times people always say, well, like we were in a close game at Georgetown, we were in a close game at Marquette, and both games probably could have went either way, right? And we didn't make shots in either game. We were far from it. And I think the more, again, my whole thing with our team, I want us to be tough. I want it to be an absolute fight. And then we're going to play loose and we're going to play confidently on the offensive end. But we got to play better. And I think part of it is, Joe, we're trying to figure out our roster and trying to figure out, we had so many dang shutdowns and you lose Nate Johnson and then it's like, man, you lose Ben Stanley. It's like, man, like where are we at, like with the consistency piece? It's been hard to find. But look at Butler. They've been going through the same stuff, right? I mean, again, we're not the only team. And it can be really, really, really frustrating. But, again, I love our group. I believe in our group. We're going to New York City. And I told our guys this after Marquette. Don't hop on the bus. Don't come to practice on Monday if the whole mentality isn't to win the whole thing. We're going there to win the Big East championship, and in order to do that, obviously we got to beat Butler, and we got to have a couple of days, really good days of practice leading up.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.